Welcome back to another episode of the Dropout podcast. We don't have a guest on with us today.
No, we don't. So it's just me and Liam. So probably we'll have only a few listeners this time. without a guest, we don't get many views.
Yeah, we missed an episode last week.
Yeah, we did.
This should be up Thursday.
Yeah, we've run. I feel like we've ran into a few issues as of recent, but that's all right. Like it's a learning curve in it. Do you know what I mean? So we're still learning how to like, and the things haven't been like out of like. Well, they have been completely out of our control. Like, it's not been like you edited something out that you shouldn't have, or something happened or anything like that. It's literally just down to like technical errors with like the computers and stuff like that. But that's fine, I think. But we know it's just me and you this time, so this should be up this Thursday. But we'll at this moment in time as well, we should say about the Instagram page we have.
Dropout Podcast. We've not mentioned it now, have we?
No, we haven't, and I think that's quite stupid that we haven't.
We're pretty late to it, I think.
Yeah, so
we have an Instagram. What is it?
The .dropout.podcast.
Okay.
Or if you just type in the Dropout Podcast, it'll come up and it's got like a pink logo. So it's got that logo we used for when it was just me and you before. Yeah, that was I love that logo. I was quite surprised because who did that?
My mate Sam.
Your mate Sam.
Yeah.
That was really sick. I like the pink layer. Like I like the color scheme it has with the pink and the yellow. It's really sick.
Yeah.
And the style of text is nice. Yeah. It's like quite appealing. Yeah. So in the new year, go on.
Well, wait. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say. So we're coming basically as the end of the year now. So I think it's not a review of 2019, but like, how do you feel like 2019 went for you?
Bro, you asked me these deep questions.
Sorry.
I'd say I'm still working on it. Still trying to process. No, I'm still thinking. It's not the end of the year yet.
Yeah, true. That's true. I get
ask me then.
Okay, fair enough. No, I've had like I've like, not to like big myself up or anything like that, but I've had like quite a good year. So like I've just really enjoyed this year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You seem like you had a good year.
Yeah, man. Like I just started training more, dancing more, and then I got a new girlfriend, which was amazing, and like it's quite funny to see like how good this year has been for me. There's like been like pinnacle things for me. Like when I went earlier on in the year, I went to Prague.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was this year.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really fun. That was my brother's stag. So he was getting married. My brother Dom. Yeah, shout out my brother Dom. See,
big up Dom.
Yeah, big up Dom. I don't think he'd ever come on. He'd probably be like, nope. He'd be like, that's not me, because he's like, he doesn't talk like I talk a lot, like out of my family. Like I'm like quite loud, and, like quite annoying, like half the time. But my brother's like the polar opposite to me.
Okay.
Like, completely opposite. So when we went to Prague, it was like really good for us. Like me and my brother, let's read. Like it was the first holiday me and my brother ever been on, like abroad, like as like adults. Like we went together when we were younger, but like other than that we haven't. So like when we got out there, we were like, oh, this is good. And we had like shared a room. Like I know he didn't want to share a room with me, but it was really sick. We stayed on like a top floor apartment.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah, it was like we stayed like in the middle of Prague. So like we were like about a 5-minute walk from like the 5-story nightclub that we went to.
Nice.
And like I tell you what, man, it wasn't as like stag central as I thought it'd be. Like Prague, you've heard about Prague, haven't you? You've heard about like some stories about it.
Yeah. It's
seen as quite a stag place to go, but I saw like 2 stags when we were out there, and I was one of them. Like it was quite weird. Like I was like, this is supposed to be known. We got told to be quiet in a few bars.
Really?
Yeah, man. A guy came up to us, the owner, and he was like, "You please keep it down." And we were like, "What the fuck?" We were like, "We're fucking going." All of us like pissed now in the middle of Prague.
Yeah.
We had to walk around with shit shirts on, and I had like this shit shirt and these shit shorts. So like I had a combo.
Right. What do you mean by shit? Just like unappealing? Like
this like really like sleazy shirt. You know, like the old like Miami Vice like shirts with all the tropical stuff all over it. And
those.
I had that with like shorts, okay, and I had like Vans on. I had like a little side bag. I was pissed for about 5 days. Like I was so drunk. From when we met but at the top of Morriston, so like a place in Swansea, and we started drinking. Yeah. Then, like, we started drinking at 5. We all did a beer before we got on the minibus. Then we started drinking on the bus, and I was like, fuck. And bear in mind now, I was 20 at the time, so how old I am now. But I was like I was the youngest out of everybody, and I was like, fuck, I gotta prove myself. Like, because these boys have been drinking, they've been going away to like Ibiza and these lad holidays, but me, picture it now, like, what, have you ever been like on one of those holidays, like when you
Not
just
a
got
lad's
pissed?
holiday.
No?
Oh, I've you know what we can do this podcast, talk about stories.
Yeah, cool.
So
We'll talk
you're
about,
talking about your project.
yeah, we could talk about places where we've been.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna tell through Canada. This is the podcast where I get to tell my Canada
yes,
stories.
finally.
Yes,
Whatever episode
finally.
this is, but yeah, you get to say
Right,
some
let's
stories.
finish off your Prague thing.
So when I was in Prague, it was crazy. Like, we would, like, I didn't stop drinking. So we wake up in the morning, we had like, we had beer, so we had pub golf. Now that's like, so I got told what it was before
Right.
I went, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm not going to keep up. I was like, this is, I don't drink a lot of alcohol. Like, I don't drink a lot. So I saw this, and I was like, I'm definitely going. It's my brother's stag. I have to go. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, you have like 18 drinks to do.
Yeah.
Is everything right?
Yeah, just make sure we're recording. Keep going.
Yeah. It's 18 different tasks you got to do. So like, left hand drinking only, or dancing at all time in this bar, or
Left hand drinking.
so you only drink with your left hand. If you drink with your right hand, you have to down your drink.
That doesn't seem hard.
No, but yeah, but a pint. If you just went, like, if you forgot by accident,
Oh,
and just
if
went to
you
grab
forgot,
it
yeah.
and drink it, none of the boys are going to tell you, because you have to do your beer in, or you have to do a shot or a forfeit.
Right.
So we had those places to go, and I was absolutely hammered, like, and I mean steaming. Do you know the worst thing?
What?
I think it's really bad that, like, I've been able to, like, document everything. Like, you could document everything and everything you do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can Instagram story everything all day if you wanted to.
Yeah, right.
could-
Yeah, you have that.
You
social
get to
media.
publicize your life all day. Like, people didn't do that before. So
Yeah.
when I was doing it, I was pissed. So I was even worse.
Oh,
There's videos of me, like, screaming at my friend, like he's singing on the phone to one of the boys back in Wales, and
I
I'm
remember
just,
I called you.
yeah,
actually.
man, I rang you when I was out there, like, and
Yeah.
so we had like the top apartment, and we were like, we were so like, I'll finish my Prague story with, so when we were pissed, obviously we're getting, you know, a bunch of lads getting quite like lively, and the apartments that we were staying in, people were coming out and being like, shh, like shouting at us at like 2 a.m, because we're like, hey, like stumbling upstairs and stuff like that. One of the boys didn't have a key to get into the room, so he fell asleep and slept outside the room for 3 hours.
Oh my god.
And then went back out, woke up and was like, fuck it, I'll go back to went back to like in the middle of Prague. It was when I say I didn't stop drinking, like, it was the most when I came back, I saw my friends. I think you were away at the time. I think you had just flown, actually.
Where was I?
You were moving out to Canada.
Oh, really?
I think so. It was in April, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I flew at the same time, or I was a couple of days before or after you. But I remember being like, I got home and I was like, I'm not alright. I was like shaking, like my fingernails were like grey. I was so like, I had like blisters because I was like I was dehydrated because I wasn't drinking. I was only drinking alcohol. We didn't stop drinking.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't okay when I got back. Like, I was shaking like this. I was a bit green, and Leanne was like, so my girlfriend, she was like, are you alright? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I was like, not okay. Like, I was really bad. So it's obviously linking that. So you flown out to Canada then in April? Was it April? You flew out? So when you flew out to Canada, what's one of the first things that you were really, like, you were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, because I know you've had a few experiences out in Canada. Like, what was the first thing that happened out in Canada that you were like, holy shit? So nothing illegal, obviously.
Yeah,
Nothing illegal. Maybe.
Actually, no. I have one. Yeah. No, I can talk about it.
Alright, shit.
It doesn't matter if it's legal.
Okay. God.
Right. So this is one of the moments where I was like, what the fuck? I just wanted to, like, I was just confused. I was really confused how I got myself in that situation, because I was comparing myself to a year ago,
Right.
where I was completely different. So I've changed a lot dramatically. I've changed so much as a person.
Yeah, you are massively.
Realizing now to how I was, but wow, fucking hell. So basically, I was in Toronto and I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time and my and my old friend at the time, who's no longer my friend. So I'd get ex-friend and ex-girlfriend. That's good. Yeah? Okay, so and we were going to a nightclub in Toronto, and I hate going to clubs. Like, I really fucking hate it. I hate the thought of dancing. I can't dance at all. Which is why we need to make a video
of me teaching you to dance.
Dance whilst
that'd be cool.
hammered, bro.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be good, bro. We can do the futsal shuffle.
Yeah. No. No.
We're gonna do that.
No.
Oh, this is not my channel. No, we're not gonna do the futsal shuffle. You're gonna.
This is our channel, my good sir.
I know.
Right?
I thought I was speaking on my channel for a second. I know. But anyway, so I hate it.
Yeah.
And we drank so much at this club, like so much, but we didn't fucking feel drunk. Like none of us. We drank so much.
Right.
We did shots. We did everything.
Right.
And then they went. We went to go to like the dance floor, or whatever. And then, you know, we're dancing, and I'm so awkward.
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm so fucking awkward.
Yeah, I know you are.
This
No
I
offense,
like. I am just the worst dancer, and even they pointed it out to me. So I was like, "Bun this, I'm out." So I left the dance floor and I went to go drink more.
Right.
On my own, drank a few more, and then I went outside to go have a cigarette. So I'm outside having a cigarette. And this story is crazy. This entire story is crazy. So I'm outside having a cigarette, whatever, and I see this girl, and she seems like upset, or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, and she walked away from her group of people.
Right.
And there was a mixture of guys and girls there. So I'm sitting down on these steps outside, smoking my cigarette, minding my own business.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about how awful the last 10 minutes of my life was dancing.
Right.
And and she sits down next to me, and I'm just, you know, I'm just like, okay, she's pretty close next to me. I'm just like, I'm confused. She's probably drunk too. We're all drunk. Everybody here. It's like, at this
so are you
point,
drunk at this point?
I'm drunk. I'm like, it's probably like 1 a.m. at this point. And she sits down next to me and she talks to me and she's just like, hey. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm slurring my words completely, like when I'm talking to her. And she was basically, I don't know what she wanted. I think she thought I was selling drugs or something like that, and I was confused. And she was like flirting with me to try and get drugs, as if I had drugs. I guess I looked like a drug dealer, or she thought I was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
So I was confused. And then after I finished my cigarette and small talk with her, I go back in the club.
Yeah.
And my ex-girlfriend and my ex-friend, who are both girls, by the way, they're in the club and they're hanging out with these group of guys. Okay. I'm like, oh no, I have to meet people now.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I fucking hate that. And I knew they were gonna go meet fucking people. I knew it. And I didn't want to be a part of it. So they met these new people and I have to bond with them. They're hitting on one friend, and they're hitting on one person, and the other people are hitting on the other people, like my ex-girlfriend. Yeah. So both of my ex-girlfriend and my friends are getting hit on. Yeah. And they're all guys, by the way. And then they ask us, they were Swedish too. Yeah. They ask us if we wanted to go to an after nights club. Right. Now this is where the story gets fucking crazy. Right. So I'm just like, okay, sure. And we go into this club, and it's like 3 a.m. and I think around that time, or 3:30 a.m. Yeah. And we go into this club, and you have to pay to get in, and it's sketchy as fuck from the get go. Like it's as if you're going like to an alleyway, right? And it's like in this sketchy fucking part. It was so dodgy, okay? Right. But we went with it anyway. Yeah. So we go to this inn, and instantly the smell was just like you can just smell the smoke, right? From like cigarettes. Yeah. You have to pay to get in. I think it was like $20, I think. Fucking hell. And so we get in. Everybody gets in. You're allowed to smoke inside. So it's just, there's so much smoke everywhere. And it's just like, there's a live band playing. There's people doing drugs everywhere. Right. And we're sitting at this like really small table, sitting down on this bar stool. Like on a circular table. And everybody is, including myself, is smoking on this table, you know. Yeah. Just smoking away. Yeah. Like maybe having like 4 cigarettes like every like 3 minutes. It was fucking stupid. Right. And eventually I'm just like, oh my god, I'm going to fucking die. So I went away from the area and I went to go sit on my own. Okay, on these like nice leather seats. And I'm sitting down, I'm just minding my own business, having a cigarette. Even though I got away from it, I just casually smoked one. And this girl comes up to me. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, here we go again. Yeah.
The same evening, like.
Yeah, same evening, but this is a completely different girl. I can't remember her name. But she comes up to me and she just sits to me and she just talks casually to me and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, asks me where I'm from, all of that stuff. And it was just a nice conversation, okay? And she introduced me to her friends. I'm like, hey, I'm Liam. Nice to meet you. Shook their hand, whatever. Went to sit back down and continue smoking. Yeah. And then this guy enters the fucking place, the club, and he kind of looks homeless, but a good homeless.
Right, okay.
Like, he can manage himself being homeless.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know?
That
Like,
was hype.
I don't know if you've ever played RuneScape, but RuneScape Bob,
Right.
he looks really fucking homeless.
Okay.
He was like the opposite. He was
Right.
like, he looked fashionable for a homeless guy. I think he was homeless.
Yeah.
Comes in, he looks left, where all the live bands are playing. He stops, like say now the entrance is there. There's a wall there that expands to the building.
Yeah.
He looks left, just stands there, looks around, looks right, instantly locks eyes with me, and he sits down next to me.
Right.
And he's like, "Hey, by any chance are you gay?" I'm just like,
Whoa.
"No, I'm straight, sorry."
Shit.
And he was like, okay, no worries. I'm just like, no problem. So he accepted the fact that I wasn't going to sleep with him,
Right, okay. Nice.
but he still wanted to be my mate.
Yeah.
Okay, so he sits next to me. I have the girl to my right and the guy who can't remember his fucking name.
Yeah.
To my left. I don't even remember if I exchanged names with this guy.
Right, okay.
So I'm sitting down and we're all just, casually just talking. And then this guy pulls out a bag of cocaine.
Shit.
And he looks over at me and the girl, and I thought this girl was, like, I don't know. I thought she was okay, and I thought she'd be on the same page as me.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Do any of you want some?" And I go, "No, man, I'm good." The girl is like, "Hell yeah!" So the girl and this guy, okay, they agreed to start doing cocaine, and everybody hands me their cigarettes because they're trying to line up the thing or whatever. And he obviously pulls it out. He gets his credit card, starts lining it up on his phone, and then he's like, "Can you hold this for a minute?" And I'm just like, my hands are full. I have the girl's cigarette in one hand, my cigarette in the other hand, and I have a bag of cocaine on my lap. Okay? Yeah. And I'm sitting there like this, like, what the fuck is going on?
Bag of cocaine.
Then one of my friends comes over. My ex-girlfriend comes over, and she's like, "Liam, are you okay?" And I just look at her like this. With coke. I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So these people are just doing cocaine right in front of me, and I'm just like...
Did they offer you some?
Yeah, they offered me, and I was like, nah.
Did you contemplate it? Did you think
I did think about it. I did think about it. And then... I did think about it. I regret not doing it.
Was this with the guy that asked you if you were gay?
Yeah, this was the same guy.
Right,
the same guy that asked me if I was gay.
I remember you telling me about that, and I remember being like, "Mate, what the fuck are you getting up to? Like, you've been there like a couple of weeks as well. I'm sure you had been there."
Oh, I have another.
But
story.
I remember because I had a story. It's not as big as that, but I remember I got. So you got not accused, but someone thought that you were gay. Okay, so where I live like a little bit up from the train station. So there's like along the top of High Street. It's renowned for prostitutes. You've seen them.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And so I'm walking up like one night. It's like, I don't know, 11:30 or something. I'm walking back from somewhere, and this guy's like walking behind me, and he looked like, you know sometimes that you are being followed a little bit, or like someone's like watching where you're going.
Yeah.
I was stopping and he'd stop, and I was like, this is a bit weird.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm in a situation like that, wherever it's like it's quite quiet and there's not many people around, I'll pretend to go on my phone. I'm like, hello. So I make it sound like that I'm talking to somebody for something.
I do the same.
So I was walking up and like, I'm like, yeah, I'll be there now. Yeah. I'm like, I was like, I'm 2 minutes away. I'll be there now. So I'm like, right, okay, still following. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, so I had my headphones on at the time, so my Beats headphones, and so that area is, it is as well. It's quite rough. So I was like, am I either gonna get mugged now, or he's gonna like, well, that was the only thing that I thought was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna mug me for my headphones because I had nice headphones on, expensive ones. And
is it late at the time?
Yeah, it's really late. It's like 11:30 or like quarter to 12. But this is like midweek. Like I'm coming back from somewhere, and he's fucking.
Oh my god.
So I'm on the phone, like I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be there now, mum. Yeah. Soon a bit. And then I hang up the phone, and he comes past me, and I'm like, because I'm pretending I'm waiting for a bus at the top. So he walks past me, and I'm like, right, okay, he's gone now. So
wow, you risked it and stopped.
Yeah, because I had to, and like not like in like, oh whatever. I know that I'll be able to handle myself. Like I know, like if it comes down to it, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And when so he walked past me, I'm like, right, okay, he's done then. So I still have my fists like clenched because I'm like, no way, I'm not fucking around with this. He turns around, and I'm like, here we go. I'm like, right, okay, fucking, right, let's go. So I take my headphones off, I take them down, because I see him walking towards him. I'm like, huh? Like that, like, so I get very aggressive.
Yeah.
He's like, like that. And I went, what? He was like, I was like, you sex? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, mate, I was like, you better not be asking me to have sex with me right now. He says, and he goes, oh no, the beach. I'm like, he was very clearly saying, are you bitch? Are you bitch? And I was like, mate, the fuck? I was like pointing down towards the beach, and he thought I was a gigolo. I rang my mum afterwards, like, for real. Yeah, it's a male prostitute.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, and I rang my mum afterwards, and she was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, that's quite funny. Like that. And I was like, I remember being
terrifying.
like, I was really scared. Because like, I thought, because that area is really rough.
Yeah.
Innit? You drive past, you see those, like,
yeah.
and you see them, and like, obviously they're never going to hear this, and it doesn't matter, but you see them standing there, and like, some of them haven't got teeth. Like, that's gross. I'm like, oh my god. But I used to drink down there. We used to drink in the White Swan.
Oh yeah, that's the area. Yeah.
We used to go in for lock-ins up there, didn't we?
Yeah,
we used to just
times,
like afterwards we'd just stay there and just carry on drinking and playing pool and playing Pac-Man. Yeah, Pac-Man was sick. I had the high score on it.
Yeah, you did.
I was quite happy with that. That was sick. That was just before you moved, wasn't it? We got really close around that time. And I remember really like, because I was going through, like, I was like really upset at the time. So me and you were like, right, we'll go and have a drink like this weekend.
He was crying.
Yeah,
he was on his floor. He was on the floor
I'm
begging.
all good, man. He was
on his knees like, Liam, please.
I know. Yeah, whatever. But it was sick, and that's why when you moved to Canada, I was gutted.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fucking hell. I was like, I don't really like, not like, oh, I'm this like guy or anything, but I don't really fuck with anyone else. Like, I have like my close friends.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really socialize with people. Like not socialize, but I mean like, I'm very tight with my like friendship group, and I consider you very like close to my circles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, because when I was gutted when you moved to Canada.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to come out and see you.
Yeah.
I did. It was sick. But what was the other story? I'm gonna ask you one question before we carry on. I don't know whether or not this is the question. How did you end up in a guy's apartment?
That's not the story. I can tell that story after I would tell this story.
Okay,
do you want the drunk story or do you want the kidnapping one first?
Wait, kidnapping?
That's what we call this story.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we going to call this? When Liam got kidnapped.
Maybe, yeah.
So what? Okay, you go for whatever one you want to go for.
I was going to... we'll do the kidnapping one because that sounds more interesting.
Okay.
So, same situation in Toronto. It's daylight. Maybe like 11 o'clock in the morning. It was a good day, honestly. Right? Wake up with my ex-girlfriend and my ex-friend at the time in their apartment. I slept the night, and we wake up and I'm just like, oh man, does anybody want coffee? It was meant to be a good day where I just go get coffee. Instead, I caused absolute fucking chaos. So, I get the orders and I start heading out, and I start heading to Starbucks, which is only like a 10-minute walk away from the apartment. Yeah. So I'm walking, and I'm wearing this green Tyler the Creator shirt, the lime one, and it says golf. Yeah. Banging shirt, by the way. Gets all the ladies. And this guy stops me. He was a man of a lot of melanin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You could say a black guy.
He was a black guy.
That doesn't have to be anything negative.
Okay, he was a black guy. And he's wearing like these, I think it's like these red shorts, this really weird, like, I think it maybe even like a basketball jersey.
Yeah, it was like a tank top or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Hat and these black Crocs that had spikes on
Crocs.
them. They had spikes on them.
Okay.
Black
Crocs
I
didn't see
with
that coming.
Spikes on
Really?
them. Yeah.
Really Crocs? You're not
I took a
exaggerating
picture.
this.
I swear to God, I have the picture on my phone.
Okay.
I can show the camera and I can show you.
Right, okay.
I'll show the picture of him after. So, he stops me and he's like, hey, that's a really nice t-shirt. I'm just like, thank you, it's Tyler the Creator. Do you know who he is? I thought that's what he was like, you know, Tyler the Creator fans, bro.
Yeah.
Could link up. No, he did. I was like, do you know who Tyler the Creator was? I had no idea. And then I'm just like, oh, okay, never mind. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Liam. And his name, and then I was like, what's your name? He's like, Tony. So I'm like, okay, cool. Hi, Tony. And I could tell this guy was fucking strange. Like, honestly, I could tell this guy was fucking different. Like, different, bro. And he's like, have you ever read this book? And he was explaining that this book is like a holy grace, bro. It's like the next Bible.
Right.
And he was saying it has the cancer, like the cure to like cancer,
Shit.
AIDS, all of this stuff.
Right.
And I'm just like, no, I've not read this book, Tony. I think if I had, I wouldn't be here. I'd be like a spiritual being.
Yeah.
That's how he was describing it to me. And I'm just like, no, I haven't. He was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what's the book called? And he was just like, I can't say it here. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
All right.
Yeah.
So he was like, follow me. So
he
leads me closer. He leads me like maybe like 20 steps away. Still outside where people are just walking by and stuff.
Yeah.
Heading away from the Starbucks, by the way. And he's like, okay. I was like, oh, okay. Why are we here? Pretty much is what I asked. It was like, the book is called, and then it was like the African something Hollis. I can't remember. I have it in my phone though. Right, I can show you. I took a picture. He made me take a picture.
Fuck.
Anyway, so I'm just like, oh, okay. And I was like, where can I get this book? Pretending to show interest just so I could fuck off.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Do you know? Do you ever have those moments where you pretend to show interest and then after you show interest once, you can be like, okay, gotta go now. It's to show that you're not as rude as just going.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm like, oh, what's the book called? Where can I get it? He tells me that I can't get this fucking book anywhere. Right. So I'm just like, well, I can't leave on that now because that's just awkward. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm just standing there, just really awkward. And he's like, okay, I can show you the book. And I'm thinking, like, for fuck's sake.
Where is this?
This is just literally...
No, where is it? Outside?
Just outside his apartment at this point. He lives right next to my ex-girlfriend.
So you're outside of his apartment?
Yeah, which is the building next to my ex-girlfriend's apartment.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So they all live as if it's like one fucking happy family out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh... at this point, I'm just like... I'm just gonna do it. I just leave. I go with him. I go up into his apartment complex, scans the door up, and we go in the elevator.
Right.
Really awkward elevator ride, might I add. They were really awkward. It was just it was just dodgy, and it was a really sketchy apartment complex too.
Yeah.
Top floor, okay. 3rd floor. We go out. And we go into, he lives on the end. He opens his door, and immediately you have to like duck under to fucking get in because he has like wires dangling, okay?
Oh my god.
And then he gets in, he shuts the door, I look around, he shuts the door, I look at the door, he has multiple fucking key locks, bro. He has like at least 10 key locks.
Is this for real?
For real,
Okay.
I shit you not.
Right.
I'm just like, oh my god. Then I look around to like the living room. It's a tiny apartment. I mean, tiny. I look around, and immediately I see a chair just like this. And what's on this chair? A fucking hammer. Okay? And I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get my head bashed in.
In the living room there was nothing but a chair.
There was just a chair and like a table full of just like a CD player and just a bunch of CDs,
right.
which was all fucking Metallica.
Right, okay.
Like he was a big Metallica fan.
Right.
That was all that was in that living room.
Right, okay.
Okay? And a fan. Okay? Like there was nothing in this
okay.
apartment. And then to the left you had the kitchen.
So you thought you were going to die?
I thought I was going to die because it just looked scary. There was just in the room just
Did you
a singular
think about
table.
running? Did you think about like going?
No, I accepted it.
Really?
I was like at this point he's already fucking locked it multiple times and
Right.
gone.
Okay.
My only chance is to grab the hammer before him and bash his skull in.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he was actually really nice.
Was he?
He was really nice.
Oh,
He was
sick.
a sound guy. Honestly, I would see him again.
So was it?
Anyway, no, I haven't finished the story.
Okay.
This is it. But I'm just clarifying he's nice. Obviously, I didn't get my head bashed in.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to me. Anyway, so at this point, I'm texting my friend just before I entered the apartment. I forgot to mention this, saying, "Oh my god, I think I'm about to get kidnapped." Blah blah. I'm texting her, like saying all of this stuff, and she's freaking out. And then I don't respond to her for an hour, okay?
Right.
Because I was too scared to get my phone out because this guy was like. He was convinced that everything was the devil. He thought the Starbucks was the devil, iPhones were the devil, so I didn't bring my phone out. Okay?
So was he really intense like throughout the whole time?
He was intense. Like he showed me around his apartment, and then that one time, it was in the summer, so it was really hot. And then he goes, "Come here." He takes me into his kitchen, and he opens the refrigerator, and he goes, "Stand behind, like have your back to it."
Oh my
so
God.
me and this guy we have our backs just against this refrigerator, just getting cooled by, and he's like, "Isn't this nice?" And I laugh, and I'm just like, "Yeah, it is." And he goes, "Liam, you have a beautiful smile."
Oh my god.
And then he admits that he's gay.
Oh god.
He tells me he didn't admit it to me, but he just says that he's had like sex with like gay. You just tell me stories. So I was like, okay, so he's gay.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how he told me. I don't think he wanted to have sex with me.
Yeah, I get you.
Anyway, so he shows me the book. I take a picture of it. And then he shows me this like green can called Perrier. He makes me take a picture of it.
It's a sick drink.
Yeah.
It's a sick drink.
He's basically really fucking healthy living. He eats healthy foods only.
Right.
And then I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. And he was like, do you what's that thing? Meditate.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't. And he was like, do you want to know the best form of meditation?
Shit.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, like, tell me. He's like, sometimes I go to like the park, not too far away. There's just like this park where people walk their dogs. Like, obviously there's a big city. And you have like some parts which is just like parks with grass and stuff. You know, like I'm walking your dogs.
Yeah.
He goes, sometimes I go there and I just get naked and I just feel myself and sit on the grass.
Fuck off.
I'm sitting there like,
fuck off, you're lying.
I swear on my life, on my mother's life, on my life, he told me that he sits down like naked, touches himself, and meditates. And I'm just like, how haven't you been costed for some, like, how isn't that illegal?
Oh my god.
Like, that's public nudity.
I can see you just being like,
I'm so confused.
fuck.
I'm really confused. And then, eventually I leave.
How the fuck did you get out?
I was there for like 2.5 hours.
Really? 2.5 hours?
I was just having conversations with him. I was asking him for advice.
What?
Just spiritual life.
Right.
I was genuinely...
We were engaged in it then afterwards.
I genuinely was convinced that this guy...
You get his number and everything?
He didn't have a phone. He gave me his landlord's card. So I can contact his landlord. I still have it in my wallet. I don't have my wallet on me. That if I ever want to meet Tony again, I have his landlord's like business card. And then he told me to just ask for Tony. And I was just like, whoa.
Is that for real?
For real, on my life.
You take a photo of him?
Yeah.
Let me see him, please. Because that's by far one of the funniest. So did you think, like, oh my god. Why did you think you were
I'm not making the story up because I know.
I believe you. Because I remember you took a photo of him from behind.
Naked women here. Hang on.
Shut up. You remember you took a picture from him from behind, and you were like, I think I'm gonna get kidnapped. And I was like,
oh yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Hang on. Where is it?
How old is he? Do you know?
Here it is. So
let me see.
I don't know. He was like in the States. So first, I'm gonna start off with the story. Right. So this is a picture of the book.
Oh my god.
It's called African Hollister Health by Clean Africa. Let me just point it to the camera.
Okay. So it's for real. Okay.
I'm not shitting you. And he is black. You can see his hand.
Yeah.
You can see his shorts. Next picture. The can of Perrier. I don't think I need to show that. It's just a picture of a can.
Nice.
All
this
right.
guy's apartment looks sketchy as fuck as well. Like from the photos.
All right.
Like there's a bike.
Yeah. And the next one. Some body lotion. He tells me that this is really good for my skin.
It is. It's raw shea butter.
Makes me take. I was asking him for life advice.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, next picture is him.
Oh my god.
Look at his Crocs.
Holy.
You can zoom in on. You can see the spike.
That's for real. This shit.
I am not making the story up.
Holy fuck. Right. Okay. Can we show a photo of him?
Yeah.
Because he's sad.
Yeah, Tony. If you ever see this, bro, I miss you. This is Tony.
Right there, that
obviously I couldn't get a picture of just like his front. Like,
can you imagine that being like?
I snuck that photo, and on his feet,
he won't be able to see it.
He won't be able to focus. Maybe
he won't be able to see it. But just edit in or something, or just edit at the end.
Yeah.
Say it. Well, at the end we'll put a photo in.
Yeah.
What else? Is there any other ones?
No, that was just it. That was it.
Wow, man.
I think.
Sit down, bro.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I'm like not lying. Like
So that happened. When did that happen? When you first moved there?
No, this was in like August. But anyway, so I leave, and then it's pissing down with rain, like absolutely pissing down.
Yeah.
And I'm sprinting back to my ex-girlfriend's apartment, and I'm sprinting back, which is only like a 5-minute sprint. And I arrive, and my ex-friend has left.
Right.
She went to go to like university or whatever. So it's just my ex-girlfriend, and I walk in, and I was just like, I'm here. And she is so pissed off at me.
Is she angry?
She's so angry.
So have you not texted her for ages?
I didn't text her for it because I couldn't get my phone out.
Yeah.
She's so mad, and she's just like, "Where have you been? I've been so worried. All of this stuff, yeah."
Yeah.
And she was like, "I even texted your mother." I'm just like, "Oh my god, oh no."
Yeah, literally.
my mother's gonna be
fuming.
Yeah. So I think she's She texted my mother, and then like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
My mom texted me, and I explained that I didn't get kidnapped.
Yeah.
But it caused like my I think it caused like with my friends and everybody to panic.
Yeah, I bet.
Like dramatically. And I'm just like, the worst part is that I don't have the coffee either.
Yeah.
So
Shit.
I walk outside to go have a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I see it. Lo and behold, after this is like 30 minutes after, the rain stops.
Yeah.
And I'm just outside having a cigarette. And I remember having a conversation with Tony in the apartment. And he asked me if I smoked cigarettes. I said no. I had a pack of cigarettes in my pocket. But I said no to him. Right? I said no to him.
Right.
In the apartment.
Okay.
Now, when I go outside a few hours later to have a cigarette,
No.
who do I see?
No.
Who do I see?
You see Tony?
I see Tony with a fucking cigarette in my hand.
What did he say to you?
Comes over and he talks to me. And he was just like, "Oh, Liam, I said you thought you don't smoke cigarettes."
Shit.
I'm just like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I do it sometimes. I didn't want to like upset you."
Right.
And he was just like, "Oh man, it's cool, but you gotta quit that." And I'm just like, "Yeah, this will be my last one." Completely bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say.
And then he was like, "Nah, man, put it out." I'm just like, "Oh, bro, I'm not gonna argue with him."
Shit.
I'm just like, I threw it on the ground, fucking stamped on it, you know.
Fuck.
And then he's talking to me or whatever for like a good 10 minutes about life again. And then my ex-friend who went to university,
Cheryl.
she didn't,
Sorry.
fucking say the name. Her name was Cheryl. So Cheryl eventually comes over and she doesn't get the update that I am safe.
Right.
She still thinks I'm kidnapped.
Oh,
Okay?
shit.
So she sees me with this black guy outside their apartment, by the way. This
Right.
is right outside their apartment. And Cheryl comes over and she's like, "Hey, Liam, are you okay?"
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Yeah, this is my friend Tony."
No way.
Yeah.
Shit.
And she was like, "Oh, yeah." And
So when did he give you the card? In the apartment?
in the apartment. And then I was like, "Yeah, this is Cheryl's apartment."
Fuck.
And then we go inside, me and Cheryl go inside.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Liam, you just made us," like, she was just like, "You just did something so stupid."
Really?
And she was like, "What?" I'm like, "What did I do?" And I was like, You just told him that this is where I live." I'm
Yeah,
just like, shit, now he's gonna like know that I'm
Live
here.
there. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh fuck.
So I can't believe you didn't have a phone.
Yeah.
So was it like the
he was
whole
one of the
experience?
lads.
You literally went to get coffee and then you left and
Never got the coffee.
never got the coffee.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How long did you live out in? How long did you live there for, Canada?
7 months.
So do you think you've not experienced more, but like more things have happened to you in the last year? Like when you moved out to Canada, like was it like crazy? Was it like if you look back and you can like think like on what's happened out there, do you think it's crazy?
Craziest time of my life. Like,
Really?
actually the craziest time of my life.
How long were we recording for?
39. I can have
That's
another
sick.
story.
I think I got a few more. Like what? No. What was the one we were gonna say?
This is to do with drinking.
Okay.
This is another Canada
I have one
story.
for drinking. I have one for.
I'm
drinking.
just gonna come out and say exactly how it happened.
Right.
And this is quite an exposing story.
Oh,
so
God. Is this bad?
Nah.
Do I know this?
Nah, yeah, you know it.
Okay. Do we
Right.
go first?
Nah,
Or you?
For your story.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna say
go
about
first,
when
'cause
I
I
first
just
got.
said-
No, I was gonna say when I first got drunk.
Oh,
We're
really?
talking about drinking. So when I first got drunk, I was like 12 years old.
Okay.
So I invited me and my friends met up in town, and we were just like going around town. I think we went to Laser Zone or something like that. I can't remember what we did. So we were wandering around town, and they're like, "Oh, let's go back to your house. Let's go back to your house." I was like, "No." Like no one was in at the time, so I didn't like want people to come over. So I was young still, obviously.
Yep.
Go back to the house, and they're like, "Oh, you got alcohol?" I was like, "Yeah, I got loads of alcohol." And me being like me, I tried to fucking show off them. I was like, "Oh, do you want to do some shots?" Like,
Yeah.
12 years old, and we're all like, "Oh fuck!" Like all of us picture like drinking at 12 now. So I get down this bottle of vodka. There's like 2 shot glasses. Like it was right at the top. My mum didn't really hide it from me. I'll be honest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did the 2 shots. But then everyone else stopped. But I was like, "Fuck it!" And I was a bit bigger then. Like I was young. I was bigger than them at the time.
Yeah.
So I started hammering them. I don't know how many shots I did, but I did a few shots, like a lot. For your first time drinking ever,
Really?
I just
Okay.
did spirits. I didn't. So it was like Smirnoff Ice.
Fuck.
It was
Okay.
fucking vodka.
Yeah.
It was like gin. Like I can't. Like I was like, "Oh, this is bad." Bacardi. It was disgusting.
I hate Bacardi.
So I got really, really. Like, I mean, when this is the drunkest I've ever been, because I remember my head like.
Oh,
know when you're
the
pissed?
fucking beating.
Yeah.
Oh.
And your eyes are shaking.
Yeah.
You feel like you're like,
Oh.
what the fuck is going
You're
on?
wilding out.
So
bro.
we went down to the beach, and then me, like, I was like kind of just like really not even kind of drunk. I was so drunk. Like looking back now, no, like being older, I could be like, "Whoa, that was the drunkest I've ever been."
Yeah.
Because I remember being like, I remember being like, they were like, oh, jump in the water. It was actually sand. So I stripped off my fucking boxers in the middle of the day. Now it's freezing cold, like down the front on like Wales's beach.
Yeah.
And I jump head first onto the sand because I think it's water. I jump in, bang! I'm like, oh my god, like that. I start throwing up like all over the beach, like, and I was awful. And my friends like carry me back, and then one of my friends pushed me into a bush, like like a bush push.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was in there. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I get into my house, and then I'm throwing up in the downstairs toilet. I had a toilet. Remember, I had a toilet upstairs on the top floor.
Yeah.
So I was throwing up downstairs first, and I lived at the top floor at the time.
Yeah.
They take me up the stairs, and then they get me into bed, laying on my back. Bearing in mind, when you've been throwing up, you shouldn't be laying on your back.
You should be laying on the side,
laying
right?
on the side, yeah, because if you throw up, you don't swallow your own sick. And bearing in mind now, I have a phone at this time. Okay, now I was that drunk and everything like that, and what they did was they like squirted like shampoo like all over my like all over my like carpet, all over me, like
shampoo.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was weird. It was
Why
really,
would you?
I don't know. They were just taking the piss and like doing it on the stairs and shit like that. So, like I was saying, I had a phone. I had about 300 missed calls off my mum because I hadn't spoken to my mum all day. Now, bear in mind, at that young age, I'd gone to town on my own, met my friends, so she's like, text me when you're going this place, that place, and everything.
Shit.
I don't text her all day. I'm pissed, like, out of my mind drunk. And I have, like, loads of missed calls, texts, and everything like that. She comes back. She's, like, in tears, like, crying. She's like, Theo. I'm like steaming, like, fucking, what, and all this. Sick all over me. Bear in mind now, it was the house we were renting, so shampoo everywhere. And she's like, what the fuck has happened here, Theo? And I'm like, pissed. And I'm like, oh, Mum, I brought my friends back. She's like having a go with me and everything. Then I because I was drunk and I was so young, I was like emotional. I was like crying. I was like, I'm sorry, like that, crying to my mum. But that's the drunkest I've ever been. That was one of the worst experiences. And I threw up everywhere. Like all up, like on the beach, walking back, on my bed, on me. It was disgusting. I was covered in sick. I was fucking awful.
Grim.
Have you ever been like? What's the drunkest you've ever been? If you go into the next story, that's the drunkest you've ever been.
This is it.
Holy shit! Right,
yeah,
okay.
man. This is it. So,
right, okay.
In Canada, and this is another wild story.
Again.
So basically, I didn't go to university or anything like that, but every friend that I had was in some university in Toronto. So, one of my friends, ex-friends, this I cannot name people, okay? Yeah. No naming. So an ex-friend, I'm just gonna say friend. So a friend, basically knew that there was like this university, what are they called? Like, they go out camping and they just drink against like another university's same course.
Yeah, okay.
Right, I can't remember what they call them. I don't remember. But basically, it was University of Toronto versus Waterloo, and I was on University of Toronto. Basically, they were like, okay, Liam, the only way you can come in is if you say that you go there, but you also have to wear a costume. Like you have to wear the engineer's overalls. Yeah. And I didn't have a pair, so my friend, that who I shall not name. She gives me like these pair of overalls. I can't remember what they're called. Ovies,
right? Maybe
I can't remember what they're called now.
Okay.
Coffees. I don't fucking know what they're called again.
Anyway,
so I basically they tell me a story. Like my ex-friend and her friend, they have to tell me a story. They have to tell me what I need to say to the other university students if they question, because it's a very only university students, and it has to be completely secret. You have to be very quiet. You can't post about it on social media.
Oh, right, shit.
Can't take photos. It was very culty. Like very culty.
It was like it does sound a bit culty.
Yeah, it was very culty. It was a very culty event. That was the whole thing.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, shit, okay. Basically, I say to the people who ask me, like, whatever, like I'm from this place. I'm a what did I say? I'm like an overseas student studying blah 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 in section blah 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 division blah blah blah. I have to make all of this up.
Shit. Right. Okay.
And basically, it was just a drinking thing. You drink for like 3 days straight, I think it was.
Right. And
first day, we just get completely hammered. I'm with my friend at the time, and everything's fine. We're just completely drinking. Everybody's fucked.
Yeah.
Everybody just gets fucked.
Yeah.
And that's night 1. And then night 2, or the day 2 then, when we wake up, we start drinking straight away, and we have to do a competition. So this is why 2 universities are competing. This is so hard to explain. But basically, our university versus another university, and the reason why we're all banded together camping in these tents is because we're doing a competition. And
Right,
I was actually playing for my university.
Right, okay, I get you.
Okay?
Yeah.
So basically, what it is it's a table filled with, like, drinks. So there's 5 people competing, and you have 2 drinks each.
Right, okay.
And there's one person on the end, and the one person on the end of the table, like the one side, they're the ones that drink a lot.
Right, okay.
And basically, it's a race.
Right, okay, I get you.
And you have to drink. One person has to drink through a straw. My friend had to drink through a straw, so each side one person from each side has to drink through a straw.
Challenge, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it started from the top.
Yeah.
And it would go down.
Right.
And then it would go back up to the top.
Right, okay.
Right? So I was second from last on that side, but nobody was on the edge.
Right.
So, I'm like, when it came to, I was drinking as fast as I fucking could, and I won. I posted on my Instagram, but I deleted it, but I might put it back up. I won. And these people thought that I went to university there and shit.
Yeah.
And I got away with the entire thing.
That's sick.
And I don't know if I should mention, like, the actual, like, exposing part of the story.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay, so at the time, at this camping event, basically my friend at the time told me a bunch of stories about my ex-girlfriend, about how she's like we're dating at this time, and like she's like going off with other guys and stuff like that.
Right, okay.
So she informs me of this. Yeah. Okay, and then one night, me and my friend, and obviously I'm hurt by it.
Yeah.
So one night, me and my friend, we go, like, we're both very drunk.
Is this there?
We're both very drunk and high. We're both very, like, we're at this is
the event.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
at the event. It's nighttime. We're both extremely wasted. Like, we're crossfaded as fuck.
Right, okay.
And she wanted to go to the toilet. So I walk, and it's darker. So I walk her to the toilet because I'm a nice guy.
Okay, yes.
I'm a nice. That's a nice thing.
Yeah,
to do.
I know.
She asked me to, and I was like, okay, fine. So I walk to the toilet, and then we walk back, but we get lost on the way. And on the way, it was like a very, very weird experience. It was like I was close with her, like very close, and it was strange.
Yeah.
It was really weird. But it felt normal, but it was just like weird to think about.
Yeah,
it was like being romancing with somebody's who you think is like your best friend.
Yeah,
because I viewed her as like a really close friend. So it was very weird. But we get lost and we meet these other people, like this completely random group of people who are also tenting on another field.
Yeah,
like it's all one big place where you can just pitch up and tent. So there's other campers and stuff like that around.
Yeah,
and we meet up with them, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm just like, "Hey, we're lost."
Right, okay.
And they're just like, "Oh, okay. Do you need us to help you and stuff like that?" I'm just like, "Yes, please." And they're like, "Where are you from? Where's your accent?" I'm just like, "I'm from Wales, the UK." And they're like, "Oh, wow." And I'm just talking to them.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think we're singing at one point. It was just so strange. We're both very drunk.
Right, okay.
And then we continue walking to try and find the way back. And then a group of Russians come up to us. Did I told you this before?
Yeah.
A group of Russians come up to us. And it was the weirdest fucking thing. I don't remember exactly what happened, but they pointed us in the wrong direction too. And then eventually we came back, and because... moral of the story is, I slept with my ex-girlfriend's best friend. Yes, that's the end of the story. I don't know how I was going to introduce that.
No, but yeah. Like, that was crazy. When you told me that, man, I was like, fuck, Liam.
What?
So, I mean, when you told me that...
Yeah,
it's not okay.
Listen. No. Listen. In my defense, she was coming on to me very strongly. Yeah. And I was very weirded out by it. Yeah. But, yeah, that happened. And then... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna...
Oh, come on, man. You can't just throw that... You can't throw the story out there. No, you don't have to go into anything particular, because obviously... you respect people's privacy and stuff like that, but you can say you could be honest. Yeah, I at the tent, whatever, I slept with my ex-girlfriend's best friend because I was so fucking hurt. Yeah. By it, like actually so hurt by it. I was just like, I didn't cheat because we weren't actually like officially dating. We were just seeing each other. Yeah. We had broken up just before that, but we could try to make it work. But do you like? Because I remember when it happened. I remember when you spoke to me, and like, do you regret it? Sleep. Oh, yeah. Fuck no. You don't regret it? I don't regret it simply because it's like,
what my ex-girlfriend did at the time, and looking back at my ex-girlfriend, I can't express how much hatred I have for a person.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories with that, which
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
going to mention.
No, because it doesn't. You don't need to.
But like, there's just this is why I want I remember saying I wanted to make a video talking about stuff like this, but I'm not going to, because I can talk about it briefly on here and that's it.
Yeah. Because otherwise it just becomes a hate thing then.
Yeah.
And you don't want that, because at the end of the day, I know you may not.
She doesn't give a shit anyway.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying just as humans though, you may not want to just.
Yeah.
You can't be bald. You don't. I that's how I live my life now. You just gotta like fucking. Just make sure you're happy more than anything, innit? And at the time, you weren't very happy, were you? No. I know that doesn't make it okay at all.
No, I spent the majority of my time in Canada just very high.
Yeah.
I don't think there was like a week, like I don't think there was many days of a gaps where I wasn't high.
Does that make it? Yeah, but does that make it alright?
Yeah.
Really?
No, it doesn't make it alright. No. What I'm trying to say is, I did all of that because I was so hurt.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I was very hurt. So that's what I was trying to say. I just spent my time.
I'm not. That's the thing. I don't want this to turn. I'm not turning this around and being like, I'm not like investigating you and making you to be the bad guy on this or anything like that. But I just think it's important both of us talk. We got plenty of time to talk more about us as humans and just like us as just growing as people. Do you know what I mean? And I think you did you learn a lot from it?
From Canada.
Yeah. As a whole, yeah. Did you learn a lot from Canada?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I learned a lot about myself. Like, I learned, actually, I don't know. I think I learned a lot about what I want from myself as a person, too.
Well, I gotta be honest, man. I think that's why I've said earlier on, this year has been so good for me.
Yeah.
I've had such a good year, and I've just kind of, chosen not to be upset, or chosen, because it's, I'm not saying it's a choice to be depressed. I'm not saying it's a choice to be upset. But I'm saying that I think there are ways. My mum always tells me. Make sure you get plenty of exercise. You eat, what you're supposed to. You speak to friends. You reach out to loved ones, and you surround yourself with positivity. I know it's hard. In some cases, it's difficult. But I mean, I feel like you moving back to Wales, you were in a more positive place, because in my opinion,
I'm definitely in a more positive place. Because if I was out there now, I'd be dead. Honestly, I think I would genuinely be dead.
And that's the sad thing for me, because it's because I'll be, I'm not gonna beat around the bush or just bullshit you or anything, but when you told me that, obviously you don't have to speak about that on the podcast, but when you told me that, I was like, fuck, because as your best friend, that would have really stung.
I was at the time, just before I'd left, this is deep, but before the time I'd left, I was very, very suicidal. I was in the darkest place of my entire life. Very fucking dark. I knew I was coming back to Wales, and I was very sad about that.
Yeah.
I was also very sad about my ex-girlfriend and stuff like that. Very depressed. And I was just very suicidal.
Yeah.
And so I remember one night I was like, okay, I'm going to actually try and kill myself. So I recorded a suicide video. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recorded a suicide video and I put it on my channel for 5 minutes.
Right.
5 minutes. I can talk about it on the podcast because I don't. It's it's low key,
Yeah, but it's not low key because it's important to bring up.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just it's cool. I don't need to make a video. I can just talk about it on something like this.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I put it for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, then I delete it. And then what I took was a bunch of sleeping pills, a bunch of sleeping pills and painkillers.
I remember because I rang you around this time. I remember finding out, and I was because I said to my girlfriend, I was like, shit, my friend, tried to kill himself, and she was like, shit. She was like, are you alright? To me even, and she was like, is she? Of course, the main concern was you, but she was like, because I was really shook when you told me.
Yeah, when somebody hears about that, but yeah, and then basically, what happened next? So after I put that video down for 5 minutes, within the first 10 minutes after it goes up, because it was a 10-minute video, after 10 minutes, I get a bunch of fucking messages from people, so many people. I haven't uploaded this channel in a year. This is current channel. Obviously the video's gone. I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of people messaging me right now, and these people I don't even know. Random people throughout the internet commenting on this video, random fucking people. And I'm so confused how the people saw this video.
Right.
The people, I was so confused. And I think like 2 of them contacted the police, like in my local
Fuck.
area. Yeah, contacted the police about it. And then
Did you tell anyone about this at the time? I know you put the video up. I mean, did you text anyone saying?
yeah, I've told this story, so yeah, it's not like I'm saying anything, but I'm very open. But basically, I'm trying to think. So I'm texting my friend. I can say her name. I was texting my friend Jade at the time. I was telling her about it because she understands like depression, like sadness, and in ways I've seen her like suffer in the same way.
Yeah.
So very easy to relate to her. So and I've known her for many years, like 4 years now, I think.
Yeah.
I knew her through one of my other ex-girlfriends, and she's really nice.
Okay.
And I was like telling her and stuff like that, talking to her. It was like very late at the time, like nobody was awake, and she was like 3 hours behind at the time because she lives on the west side of Canada.
Yeah.
Like she was the only one like awake. So I'm texting her or whatever, and then I think she eventually convinces me to throw up like the pills because I'm drunk as well. Like I just get myself fucked up.
Right.
So I throw up the pills. I throw up some of them. I didn't throw up all of them.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So I go to sleep, and then I wake up the next day acting like nothing happened or whatever. I'm texting the people that saw it.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I remember going cold. I remember just not replying to anybody.
Yeah.
I was like very embarrassed by everything that happened. I was only texting like really close people. I was texting you, my ex-girlfriend, my friend. No, not my friend. I was texting very little people. Like my parents were. I was very shitty at replying to you. Remember, I was so bad at replying, so bad at answering calls. I just MIA'd for like so long.
Yeah.
And then this next day, the night on the next day, I go to sleep. Like my entire family that I was living with at the time, because the majority of the time I lived with my ex-girlfriend, probably 80% of the time, and then the 20% was with my cousins and
stuff.
Yeah, and they have like a family house and stuff with like 2 kids. So, about to go to bed, and then the doorbell rings, and then there's 3 police officers show up, and they're like, "Hi, we're looking for obviously me." I'm like, "Oh shit!" My cousin calls me up because I was in the basement. I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Hi, do you know about this like video that's been uploaded?" And they were like, "We don't have the video here, but we're like
falling up.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
how the fuck did they see that? Like, how do people see that so
quick? I assume the person, one of the people that saw the video reported the police. He DM'd me about it. I follow him on Twitter.
Shit.
He DM'd me about it, and he told me the situation after, because I was unaware of his situation.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what I put him through as well.
Yeah, of course.
You know? Like, it didn't... I realized that it didn't affect me. This guy, like, he tried to make sure... He was telling me how worried he was. Like, he was like, "I don't even know who you are, but I was just so worried."
Shit.
And stuff like that. This really nice guy. There was 3 people. And they were so nice. These 3 people. And... both, like, I think all of them are just, like, DM me just saying, "Yeah, well, like..."
Fuck, man.
Because
when you told me... You didn't tell me that when you were away. You told me that you had done the video when you got back. And I remember you saying to me that you like, you know, not going into too much detail, but you said that you said like you were like saying sorry to people.
Yeah, I was in the video. I was like saying sorry. I still have it on my phone.
Yeah.
So like one day maybe I'll like. The reason I know you document it is because stuff. I document my entire life.
Yeah. But like, I remember when you told me that, because I've been friends with people that have been suicidal and stuff, and it's just been fucking horrible. Do you know what I mean? Seeing some of my friends, and I think it's like I've said this before, like, you know, not trying to glamorize it or anything, but talking about it, you know, only brings more awareness to it.
I do want to clarify for the people, because it's turned really deep. I do want to clarify. I am seeing psychologists and stuff now. Yeah. Like I'm actually. But
that's what I mean.
I
think
a lot healthier. I'm on medication now. I'm much better than what I was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, and I think that's because I think that was very obvious that you were going through shit at the time, because you were quite open on social media, and you still are now. That's fine. I'm open and, you know, thing on social media, but you can see a switch, and I saw a switch in you, man. It was, and you know, you've lost weight, everything, but you're looking healthier now. When I first saw you, man, you had bags under your eyes, and you fucking, you know, no offense, you look like a mess, man. You looked like you had gone through some shit. So I always, and that's why I'll always respect you, is because you went to seek help, and that's what I think that's the most important thing you can do when you're in a situation like that. If you can't physically make yourself happy, I think it's important to reach out and to, you know, and to ask for help.
I
when you
had
need
to.
it.
I had to.
It's important, and I think that's a really nice way to end it. Is that, you know,
Your boy is seeing therapist.
Yes.
He's getting brained up, bro. He's getting He's getting serotonin.
You're good.
The serotonin.
Shut up, Liam. Shut up, man. Honest to God. But no, thank you very much for listening to the Dropout podcast, and we will see you with our Christmas special. That will be with Corey Thomas, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
We were supposed to bring that out, but that will be with Corey Thomas now. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. Take care. No.